Ladies and gentlemen, on the bench this week I have a Washburn B2 Bass, and I'm trying to get a date on it. I'm thinking 88. Trying to get a date on these things is kind of a little bit difficult. Just hear what I got here on the interwebs. Either the first two digits or the first digit are typically used to identify the year of manufacture. Now, this serial number has 6 digits. The first two are 80. So for example, it says something starting with 89 would indicate the instrument was made in 89, 88, or 98. You can confirm the year of manufacture by visiting our guitar archives, references, price lists, and catalogs. So ours starts with an 80. I looked this up. They didn't make these in 1980, and they didn't make them in 98. So it's somewhere late 80s, early 90s. Maybe we can find more when we get in the pots. Right now I'm saying 88. Anyway, this one belongs to the Amazing J. This is his kind of wall hanger bass. He's a guitarist, but he likes to have a bass around in case someone comes over to jam and they need a bass. But so this one is in pretty good shape. Needs a go-through. I don't think it's been played in a couple years. He told me he did try to take it down and play it just to get a couple strings on a recording, but you know, that was really tough too. So this is our problem right here. Got a broken nut, and I did the right thing. I went and got a genuine tusk, and we're going to put that in and go through the whole thing. So let me set you up and we'll get started. Alright, let's get a bass line. No pun intended. That all sounds good. Pots are kind of scratchy. Yeah, it works. Just need to be cleaned out. Nothing to identify it on the pot. That's really cool. Let's get some deoxit in the pots here. Nice. I'm going to take the bridge right off to give it an optimal cleaning. Polish. That's pretty filthy. This area is pretty filthy. Sure there. Make sure that our saddles here move freely. We do. Alright, everything's moving freely on that. Put that aside, clean that up in a little bit. I think I'm going to take the neck right off of it, just to have a little bit ease of going through the neck. These are actually different lengths. I want to keep these in order. They're different lengths, so make sure that one goes there. This one goes here. I just screwed those into some cardboard so I know where they go. Got a shim in there. Put that aside, make sure it goes back in. Nothing identifying in there, but gives us some easier access here to the neck. I'm going to try to get this old nut out here. Hoping it wasn't like super glued in or anything. There we go. Nice. And let me try to compare that to our new one. And you know what? They're pretty much, they're exact, same height. I'll go with it. It's real tight. I want to clean out some of this old glue too. So I got this square file years ago. A yard sale, came in a toolbox or something, and I swear it was made for doing nuts, like especially like a fender style Strat type nut, you know. And I mean, it just fits in there perfect, and my nut fits in there nice and snug, just the way you'd want it to sit in there. I'm going to use just a spot of hide glue on this nut to keep it in. That way you can get it out again in the future. And you can see I just got kind of a dab there. I'm just going to kind of spread it across the bottom here. And that is it. That is about it. That's all I want. That looks pretty good. I'm going to let that set up for a little bit and start working on that body. Alright, this really just needs clean. Going to hit it with the spray away glass cleaner. Alright, that's cleaned. The strap button here, that was really loose. Kind of had a weak screw in there, kind of a small one. I put a kind of beefier one in there. I want to treat some of the rust here on some of this hardware. So I'm going to do that now, and then I can put this back together. So I went through the neck. I'm not sure how much of it I got. If I got any of it at all. I think I forgot to hit record. So I'll just go through what I did here. Down here on the neck, you'll see there's a dimple and a split. And when I looked at the screws that I took out, sure enough, these two were backwards. The long screw was in here, which popped through. So the long screw should have been back there, but so not too big of a deal. Probably not going to be too noticeable. I did clean up the neck. I did wax it. I tightened up all this hardware up here and went through the fretboard. All the frets were perfect, so I didn't have to do anything to them. I used a little guard here, and I polished the frets with a Dremel, and it hasn't been waxed or oiled in a while, so I used this feed and wax, and that's where I am now. I have that all on there. A nice thin little coat. I'm going to let that dry for about a half hour, and then I can wipe that off and we should be good to go putting it back on the body. Alright, that's had some time to dry off. We'll just buff it on down. Looks good. Alright, put that aside. Bring the body back in here. Alright, pickups are mounted. Still want to hit this with a little bit of wax. Wanted to do something with this bridge. Pretty filthy. Got my wife's toothbrush. A little bit of isopropyl alcohol. Just try to scrub all that out. Alright, let's marry these two up again. Don't forget I had a shim in here. Sitting right about there. We're going to make sure that we put our two short ones in the front. We're going to make sure our long ones go in the back. Of course, we went with the black nut on the black guitar, so we have to go with the black strings too. I absolutely love the Black Beauties. They're so smooth. For the bass tuners with these slotted tops, I always like to go about 3 fingers past and trim it right there. Push that down in the hole as far as it's going to go. That actually might be a little too much. I'm going to take a little more off there. I don't want a huge winding up at this end. That's good. Yeah, like that. Because then I'm about 6 inches up off the fretboard. when I'm starting. Something's going on with this jack. A little clippy. So looking down here at the jack, doesn't look like there's anything really wrong with it. Looks like it got twisted really bad. Maybe once or twice. That wire might have to be replaced. It's really kinked and white. But we got it untangled. And also, when you plug in, the bottom portion of this tip was like very close to the jacket, so I used some needle nose pliers and kind of bent it up that way to get that little notch to sit in the tip, and I think that's good. I'm going to take a little file, maybe some sandpaper, and just get the edge of this so we're make sure we're getting good contact. Make sure we get good ground connection here. Tip connection. Ah, nice. Nothing now.
basin. Does that even say?
Washburn? Water pipe? Yeah, I think it's for bongs.
Oh, sweet.
Or it's like surfing on a half pipe or something. I was thinking bongs. Wow, that's great bass. You know, I'm not a bass player, but I play one in a Black Sabbath cover band. I'd love to have something like this for a backup. Feels a lot like the Ibanez that I play now, as far as playability and action. Cool thing I noticed on the Washburn logo, if you kind of look at it quick at an angle, kind of looks like it says Wash Bum. That's kind of neat. Cool Easter egg there. Thanks, Washburn. Those caps there, couldn't do anything about those. I'll keep my eyes open for some scrap caps. The nut will be just fine, I think, if it breaks again from that tension down here on the G. Then I'd probably just reverse string these last two on the next nut change. But we'll cross that bridge if it comes up. So I'm going to get this one back to the amazing Jay. He can get back to his recording. And that's just good. This is going to work just great for that. So I want to thank you for watching. Give me a thumbs up for filming it for you. And we'll talk again soon. Bye for now.